Welcome, friends, it's the MovieFilm Podcast. MovieFilm Podcast, enjoy the show. Zachy and Brian are talking about the movies. MovieFilm Podcast on the radio. Welcome to a movie film commentary track. My name is Zachy Hassan, and he is Brian Hall.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, Brian, I'm excited because as we record this, we are arriving at the 30th anniversary of one of the most off-kilter superhero sequels ever made.
Absolutely. And I have very, very clear memories of seeing this in the theater. Do you?
I have very clear memories of not seeing it in the theater.
I see.
But I have distinct memories of being in existence when the entire sort of the merchandising campaign and the marketing, everything was just sort of surrounding us. So in a weird way, I have a significant affinity for the aesthetic of this movie without actually having been part of the theater going crowd. Go figure.
Yeah.
You know what I just realized, Brian? We have not said what we're talking about.
That's so funny.
Yeah, Batman Returns, everybody.
Yes.
It'd be funny if we did the entire commentary without at any point saying the name of the movie.
Yeah, or somehow people think we're talking about Sphere or something. And I was like, what? Yes, Batman Returns. But this was after the phenomenon, right? So then they were like, oh, we are like tripling down on the phenomenon.
Yeah.
And the toys and the shirts and I even remember watching, I believe it was like a making of special before they aired 89 on TV for the first time, which is, we've spoken on before. I didn't have cable and whatnot. So the network airing of the movies was a big deal where I'd record those. And yeah, this is a very memorable moment for tween Brian.
Well, hopefully we'll get into some of that. We'll get into behind the scenes stories, our own recollections, and whatever other topics cross our radar as we watch the movie. So let's go ahead and take a short break while our listeners can queue up the movie if that's what they want to do, and we will come back and we will watch Batman Returns. And we are back, and we are ready to go. So there is only one cut of Batman Returns. It is the theatrical cut that was supervised by Tim Burton, much to Warner Brothers' chagrin, I'm guessing. Right. We'll talk about that more as we go. If you want to watch along with us, you certainly can do that. If not, we'll try to keep our conversation engaging enough to keep your interest either way. So, Brian, you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
All right. So we will hit play on 3, and as usual, that means it'll go 1, 2, 3, and play. Let's do this. And on 3. So 1, 2, 3, play.
All right. Snow. We got a theme, a motif.
I can hear the music even as we're watching it on mute.
Oh yeah. I mean, what a great Danny Elfman score. I mean, obviously
This is one of his best. One.
Yeah, but it's cool because he came up with all new themes, you know?
Yeah, you got the Penguin music and the Catwoman music, and both are really rich thematic material there. Pee Wee Herman,
Paul Rubens right there. Now, was this post-scandal for him?
It was, yeah.
Like, okay, so this is, Tim Burton doing him a solid.
Probably, yeah, because, of course, Tim Burton directed Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Right.
So Paul Rubens helped put Tim Burton on the map.
Yep, and there's Simone, by the way. They're reunited from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Diane Salinger, I think her name is.
So this is kind of a horrifying retake of the Penguin, who I think most people thought of as Burgess Meredith, kind of squawking and waddling around.
Yeah, kind of a silly character munching on a little cigarette holder.
And it is funny
we see him
because
kill an animal in the first
like right away
seconds of the film. Yeah,
we know he's born in a horrifying way, and And the movie starts with abandoning a child in the river,
No joke.
as one does.
Yeah, my fiance had not seen this before, and she was sort of falling asleep, and I was starting it, and she was like, "Did he just kill that cat?" And then she's like, "Is he? Are they throwing a baby in a river?" And I was like, "Welcome to the kids film," which I don't know. Actually, I would call it a kids film, but
Well, enough people thought it was a kids' film that there was a fair amount of controversy when this movie came out.
well, it was a movie that had a Happy Meal,
Well, and
right?
and McDonald's apparently pulled the Happy Meal promotion
Oh, did they really? Oh, okay.
because of and which sort of fed the lines a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I think people jumped in and started being overcome with the vapors. Like, oh, this movie is so horrible. Which,
The
like,
vapors.
come on, let's be real. You know?
It's funny because we mentioned with the '89 movie, they had said, oh, there was talk like, oh, maybe this movie should have been rated R, and you
Right.
can't help but laugh now when you watch the new The Batman, where it's like we're watching this guy get absolutely bludgeoned with like a carpeting tool, and like it's so horrifying. Just it's funny how ratings just keep getting pushed as time goes.
And this you watch it now and you're like, I mean, this is a PG-13 movie. I mean, it's
Yeah,
definitely on the trailing edge of that.
I'd agree, and it's grotesque. It's a
Yes,
grotesque film, but yeah.
I love the Batman theme comes in here.
Mm-hmm.
The title itself is pretty interesting because I definitely feel like calling it Batman Returns is number one, it's an evocation of The Dark Knight Returns, the Frank Miller
Mm-hmm.
comic. But it's also, at least as far as I can remember, certainly after an entire lifetime for me of sequels having either a number or a Roman numeral, this was
Mm.
at least as far as I can remember, the first like new sequel that eschewed the number trope in favor of just a title.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think
Right,
about that.
notwithstanding like the Star Wars films and even
Sure, or
Indiana
Indiana
Jones
Jones.
movies, I think of those less as sequels than like different adventures.
Yeah, even Godfather Part 2.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and Godfather is what brought in
Mm,
that concept of putting a Roman numeral.
right, which is the only way that Bart knows Roman numerals. That's how you got.
It's from Rocky, right?
That's right.
But yeah,
uh,
this I mean the fact that the movie starts with a Tim Burton film, like I don't believe
mm,
the first Batman starts with a Tim Burton film.
hmm. That's I didn't even think about that. But I mean, this is whole cloth a Tim Burton joint,
I mean, that was
right?
the only way he was going to come back.
Yeah, I mean, right down even to the penguin's design, right? Where, I mean, he looks like one of his really scrawly, ugly sort of characters that he's always drawing, right?
Yeah, yeah. The design of the penguin, especially when he's got the tails and the top hat. I mean, obviously that is, I mean, the penguin. That's how he
Sure.
looks. But it's also it looks like Caligari from the Cabinet of Caligari.
Right.
Classic of German expressionism, and you see the inspiration of those types of films in this much more so than in the '89 Batman.
Yeah. Yeah.
We also saw that Sam Hamm gets a story credit. I think his only contribution was putting Catwoman and Penguin in the movie.
Yeah. I read that it had something about them going after treasure.
Yes,
And
buried under Wayne Manor, apparently.
oh, interesting. And so then, yeah, then Tim Burton wanted to do something different. Brought in Daniel Waters of Heather's fame.
That's right.
Um, and I guess he came up with the whole evil mogul backing up a mayoral penguin. And you know what's interesting, by the way? We talk about
I
in the
also, well,
first,
real quick, actually,
yeah,
the fact that we pick up 33 years later uh, feels like a deliberate Jesus evocation.
absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Which, like, what are you going for there, Tim? That's
Yeah, it's kind of like, but your like English professor is just like, oh yeah,
And by
that's
the
a
way, I
Christ
was wrong.
metaphor.
The '89 Batman also starts with a Tim Burton film.
Oh, okay.
However, Goober Peters get a credit before Tim Burton in '89,
Mm,
which is not the
okay,
case here, because that tells you that those guys got even though they are
right.
producers on this, they, as far as I know, they had basically no involvement with this.
Right. Right. And I was
You
just
were
going to
saying
point.
I interrupted you. Sorry.
No. Yeah, as we're seeing Gotham now here, that's the Aaron Burr guy, right? By the way, from the commercial with the peanut butter, that Michael Bay commercial.
I think so. I was thinking that.
Used to see him a lot more. I remember he's in That Thing You Do. The guy who's playing the newspaper boy here.
Mm-hmm. He was in a bunch of stuff back then.
Yeah. But I didn't remember that he was in this. I was like, oh, that guy. But no, I was going to say, we rib the first Batman for its car chase. It feels like it's going around a block on the Warner Brothers lot.
That's right.
But
Pinewood,
I was like,
Pinewood Studios. It's about like one
yes,
stage, you know.
yeah. But it's funny because this film, I was like, that one actually does, as limited as the locations feel, it does feel like there's sky above them. But this movie feels like it's in a snow globe.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the town square, and how there's this awkward bridge right behind them, and it feels like they're in a box.
Yes.
Versus being outside. Probably, I think, pretty much through the whole film, really. Which is interesting. I would say the only time it sort of I itch a little bit is maybe this opening scene. It feels very, very contained. But later, when Catwoman's blowing up the building and all that, I mean, that feels a little more open air, city like.
Yeah.
But
I love the production design in Max Schreck's office. If you look, it looks like the inside of a coffin.
Yeah.
Right.
Sort of the padded walls and.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's appropriate because Max Schreck is named after the actor Max Schreck, who played Nosferatu, which is, of course, another classic of German Expressionism. So definitely, this is Burton post Edward Scissorhands,
and
I think we see a certain Scissorhandian influence here.
Definitely. Right down to, I was going to point out, I think whenever we do his films, I love how the opening credits are over sort of like mood building. Like Scissorhands, it's like close-ups of all the inventors' machines, and the bat, 89 is sort of an inspection of the bat symbol itself. And this is just sort of the music and watching the floating, baby bonnet, whatever that's called. I like that. It's like mood building. And then it's like, hey, leave planet Earth, and now you're coming into Planet Burton,
Planet Burton. That's a good way to think about it. Yeah. Now this actor, Andrew Bryniarski, who plays Chip Schreck.
Yes.
I just love the Christopher Walken impression he's doing. Which
I did not get as a kid.
I know, I
just thought the guy was weird, Go, Dad, save yourself.
Yeah, he's doing a Walken impression with Walken standing right next to him.
Yeah, so good though.
He went on to play Zangief in the Street Fighter movie.
Oh, funny.
With Van Damme.
Wow, I've never seen that actually.
Well, we have gotten a request for a commentary track for that.
For Street Fighter? That's so funny.
So
I wasn't like a big Van Damme guy, but through this show and people's requests, I am catching up on my Van Damme.
You're doubling the Van Damage.
Yes. Yes.
Which was the tagline for like every Van Damme movie. It feels like some version of Van Damage,
like Tom Cruise and Cruise Control.
Yeah, exactly. Michael Murphy, who plays the mayor here, he sort of got that like quintessential city bureaucrat face, doesn't he? Like,
totally. I love this. Santa Claus, afraid not. Sorry.
It's Christopher Walken was a big enough name to warrant above the title credits in this movie,
Right.
And for me, even though I had seen him before, probably the first time I saw him was in A View to a Kill, where he's a villain. But this movie was the first time I was like, oh, okay, he's like that kind of a star.
Yeah, this is definitely the first time I ever saw him. And I remember him sort of standing out to me as sort of like an unusual character, right?
Yeah.
An Max Schreck character. Even just like his look, this sort of almost like Einstein hair. And I don't know. I mean, he's obviously some sort of like Trump riff.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's kind of the thing, like, weird hair. But yeah. But I was just going to say, like, this whole speech he gives here, and even Selena Kyle's calling herself a corn dog. I remember it so well because I had the comic book adaptation, And I remember,
Yeah.
when you had to wait a year for it to come out on video to watch it again, really. Like I would buy the comic adaptations and then
Hmm.
it's got little chunks of the script in it. So those lines always pop out to me like, oh, I remember
That's so
reading
funny.
that.
I was just thumbing through the comic book yesterday,
Oh, really?
knowing we were going to be watching this. So
Yeah. Do you have it from like when you were young?
I do. Yeah. I have the entire run of Batman comics from like 80 till about 2002 bound, right? I have them all bound. So Batman,
Yeah.
Detective, the works. And I've included the movie adaptations in
Oh,
that because to me, my experience of Batman through that era has to include the movies.
sure.
So for all four movies, I have 89, 92, 95, 97. All four of those movies are
Yeah.
included
Yeah.
with those books, you know?
Wow. I don't have returns anymore, but I definitely have 89. That was a,
And it's beautiful. It has beautiful art by Jerry Ordway, the
oh,
89
it's
one.
so good. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's Vincent Schiavelli, who was kind of one of those quintessential hey that guys for the
Mm-hmm.
70s, 80s, and 90s. He passed away.
Yep. Um, but yeah, it's funny. Like he's kind of got his circus gang here. Oh wait, we got to talk about this.
Yeah. So real quick, this is the beginning of Commissioner Gordon being completely useless in these movies.
Yes.
He's like literally his first scene in the movie. He's like, "Turn on the signal," and then we see him one more time in this movie,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
or like twice. You know.
Yeah.
Now Wayne Manor has these cool like bat light mirror things, which has nobody seen them like
I
driving by Wayne
know.
Manor.
I know. He's not exactly hiding.
Now that said, that shot of Keaton standing up with the bat light behind him, holy freaking awesome!
Yeah. No, I mean, like that's like an all timer Batman image there for sure. So good.
Keaton is obviously for both of us, we've got a lot of like nostalgic affinity for him,
Hmm.
but he is having fun in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Playing both Bruce Wayne and Batman to the degree that every time I watch this movie, I mourn the Batman 3 that did not star him,
I know. I
or
know.
that did
What could have
star him
been?
rather, that we didn't get. You know,
Yeah. It's funny though. I always think of, yeah, there's the two Burton ones, and then there's, a shift, right?
mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
even watching this with fresh eyes the other night, I was like, no, this is a shift too.
yes,
It's the
yeah,
same. Oh, there's a
absolutely.
Ninja Turtle in there. I never
It's
noticed
fu-
that. And
That's
with
funny.
the flame, what do you call
Yep,
it? What do you call that? Fire breather.
the fire breather, right?
This, by the way, always kind of, I never get bothered by this stuff, but the little paddle it goes out, I don't know how it would hit this guy on the bike. You know
Right
what I'm
there,
talking
yeah.
about? Although this is great editing here. This, like, yeah, whatever. Actually, this is bringing back memories of the SNES game and how much I loved playing it.
For Batman Returns,
Yeah, yeah,
never played it.
yeah. I had the Tiger Electronics game for the first one. Do you remember those where it's just like one background and then like these 5 black dots that were supposed to be Batman, kind of jumping? Do you
Yeah,
remember those? Like handheld?
I do. I remember the commercials for
Yeah,
that game,
yeah.
for the handheld game, where there's like a kid playing. Oh, we should mention the guy getting immolated by the fire there. It's kind of a thing Batman does a lot of in this movie, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All
He does a
arguments
lot of
about,
murdering in this movie.
yeah, Batman, and he seems to relish it from
Yeah,
time
yeah.
to time.
He's got he's baring his teeth a lot, you know.
Yes. Um, this is like a fun little vignette here. You missed.
See, it's interesting because a critique people have of this film is that Batman feels like a guest star in his own
Yes.
movie, right?
Yeah.
And I definitely think that's true in that after this opening sequence, we go another like 20 minutes or so without seeing either Bruce Wayne or Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels a little disproportionate, but I actually feel like the stuff Batman, actually both the stuff Batman and Bruce Wayne get to do is more meaty than in the first one.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know?
I can't remember if it's this one or the first one, but I remember Keaton saying, looking at one of the scripts, that he thought he had too many lines. And like crossing, having the writer cross them out, and then the writer being like, "Oh yeah, you're right," kind of a
That's
thing. Like,
interesting.
which and I mean, it does say speaks to the weight when he
Yeah.
is present.
Yeah. So Michelle Pfeiffer, we should talk about her, right?
Oh man, yeah, she's iconic in this, I think.
She's I mean, for me at least, a lifelong crush started with this movie.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, like I said, I was like 12 when this came out. This was like, what? Seeing her as Catwoman
I feel
flipping
funny.
around, blowing up buildings.
So
It's like,
like
what
here
a
we get
woman.
Gordon. We saw Gordon right there,
Yeah.
and that's about it until like Act 3.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be funny if he just showed up in a Hawaiian shirt, like he just got off a plane, like, what did I miss?
I mean, it's funny because I've heard people be like, "Oh, Joel Schumacher completely minimized Gordon." I'm like, no, they started that with the second one.
Right.
Like Gordon's role in the first one, there's enough there that you could imagine a Dark Knight trilogy style relationship
Mm-hmm.
in this one. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But instead, they were like, no.
Yeah.
He'll ask him to turn on the signal and be done with it.
By the
Now,
way,
this is
yeah,
this a model here? Like,
it's gotta be. I was just gonna say, it reminds me of Beetlejuice,
I was
actually.
just thinking. I was thinking exactly that. Yep.
Yeah, where the characters have the model of this town, and it just feels like now he's got quadruple the budget, and he's just like, watch this,
Mm-hmm.
But it looks great. It like sets up the location. I think it looks good.
And it's very much a Burton movie in a way the first one wasn't. Like the first one was a superhero movie with some Tim Burton, affectations.
Yeah.
This is a Tim Burton movie that happens to have DC comic characters in it.
It's funny because the first one, I still do. It feels unique. Like it doesn't feel like he's spoken to being frustrated on that film, right? So there's probably a lot of compromises, but it's very much feels like a Burton movie until you watch this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh damn, this is a Burton movie.
Yeah.
This whole scene is so dark too, isn't it?
It's pretty horrifying. Danny DeVito's making a meal of it, no pun intended, as he's eating whatever the hell he is. But what's funny to me is that pretty much as soon as the first movie comes out, people went right into fan cast mode, right? And everybody was like, oh, well, Danny DeVito got to be Penguin. It was like one of those, oh, of course it's got to be him castings.
Right.
And yet I feel like they created this version of the character where even people who wanted DeVito were like, oh,
right. Yeah. I think it's worth mentioning. When I was a kid, I was going to go as Penguin for Halloween. And they had, at the supermarket, like the Penguin makeup kit. Okay. And so like I got a suit and probably put a pillow in there or something. And I put the dark circles around my eyes and the nose and the whatever. And my brother, to this day, we've never forgotten it. We went to like the first house and this like teenager opens the door and she goes, what the hell are you? And I was like, I'm the Penguin. Like this like 12-year-old Brian with this hideous makeup on his face and some weird nose. And like we still joke about it to this day.
That's hilarious.
But so we get the whole umbrella motif too. Now, has that always been a part of the Penguins,
yeah, certainly
language,
in the comics,
or is that
okay. Yeah, that was definitely, and even in the 60s show, right?
That's what I would, yeah.
And it's funny because speaking of the 60s show, one thing that really struck me on rewatch.
Oh my gosh, are you going to say what I think you're going to say?
Well, it's very much like the 60s TV show.
Dude, that is one of my notes. I almost thought I had some sort of like revelation where I was
Seriously?
Like, wait a minute. I was like
people look at Schumacher, they're like, oh, he made it all like, I'm like, no, they were doing it already here.
No, 100%. And I never picked up on it until this viewing. It's the whole, my umbrellas and man from sewer runs for mayor. Let's love him. Let's hate him. Like, and then the whole taking over the Batmobile and like, let's equip missiles to penguins. Like it feels like a kid watched a 66 episode, then had a nightmare about it.
That's right. Well, right? And the plot line of the penguin running for mayor, that specifically comes from the 60s show. That was one of those two-parters.
Right.
and I forget what it's like his honor the mayor. You know how they do the rhyming thing? It's like his honor the mayor and dishonor the mayor, or something like
Oh,
that.
right, right. I forgot
But
about
it's
that.
the
Yeah.
penguin running for mayor. But I mean, so many things above and beyond just that. Like the some of the, even like later on when Catwoman's like, "How could you? I'm a woman," and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like you
Yeah.
can picture Adam West doing that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. It's so true. I never noticed it, but now it's all I can see. And
Yeah.
it's just a really twisted 66 episode.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
yeah. But yeah, this I feel like the whole I remember this more from the comic weirdly, but the whole, here, have a hand or whatever, his partner's hand.
Right.
You flush it, I flaunt it. It's so gross. I'm trying to imagine because I'm pretty sure my mom must have taken me to this movie, and her just being like, "What is going on?" You know?
It's so funny because I missed this in the theater.
Mm.
This movie came out, January or June 19th, wherever we are right now. And we moved back to the States probably 2 weeks later.
Ah, okay.
So it was very new. It was still in theaters. And it was one of those things like I had planned to see it, and
Mhm.
I just kind of missed the opportunity. But it was new enough for the sort of all the Sturm und Drang of in the media commentary and to be out there,
Mhm.
And I remember seeing one of these talk shows where there was this little wiener kid who was like, I felt like this movie was
Oh,
attacking me and all this stuff. And I
right.
saw that recently again because somebody uploaded it to YouTube. And I'm like, I remember wanting to beat that kid's ass.
Yeah, I remember you sent that to me recently.
Yeah,
It is absolutely feels like this kid regurgitating lines some adult told him.
100%.
Yeah.
He's like, this movie is attacking kids. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely something you said yourself.
Right, right.
Linus or whatever your name is. You
Yeah.
look like a Linus.
You little Linus. That's funny.
Now, I love this scene here for two
Yeah.
reasons. It perfectly sets up who Selena is.
Mhm.
And then we get the payoff how when she reenacts
Mhm.
this tableau in like a twisted mirror image version, shortly,
Yeah.
it gives an insight into how broken she is.
Yep. Yep. Like hearing her messages, like they're sad here but kind of funny, but then hearing
Yeah.
him later it kind of hurts.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And the hello there, I love it. Such a great image of her later. You see a lot, with the hell here and her as Catwoman. I was always, as a kid, fascinated by those beds that folded out from closets.
Yeah, that was a thing, right? Like that was something movies conditioned me to expect a lot more of
Yes,
in
yes,
my
like
life.
quicksand and beds from
Yeah, yeah.
closets. Yeah, I
But
mean,
all this, look at the paint, the color of the wall, the
right.
little like puffy stuff on the sofa. Like it's so Tim Burton.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This set is a page out of his coloring book. Like
100%. Yeah.
the pink phone against the pink wall, the pink. I mean, so much storytelling is happening here. Just look at this shot right here. This is like a where you see the pink lampshade in the front, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's doing so much.
Yeah, I mean, and even the towering gothicness of the first one certainly is Burton-esque, but here he's like unleashed, where you've got these creepy cats everywhere,
Right.
like the clocks and yeah. Um, it's
It's.
funny too. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was really going to what we were saying. I mean, the production design was not Anton First for the
Right.
first one. Although he later took his own life. He was still alive when this movie was made. He was just committed elsewhere.
Yeah, tied up somewhere else. Which
But
yeah.
Bo Welch, who worked with Burton on Edward Scissorhands for sure, but I think Beetlejuice also.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I think the general aesthetic of this film, even as it's more creepy and odd, is also more beautiful. If that makes sense,
Mm,
you know, uh, in that just the way it's shot and lit, there's just something about the look of Batman Returns that uh, I find, looks better than the '89 movie.
That's so. You know what? I get that because I have so many thoughts in my head that feel like they contradict, but I actually think they support one another. Like the first movie feels like giant metal buildings, as abstract as that sounds.
Hmm.
But this one, you get a lot more kookiness.
Yes.
Like you say, you get her pink apartment. You get sort of that colorful package amidst like a black and white looking city. Like there's more pops of color and yeah, it's lit differently, right?
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
less oppressive and a little bit more there's like buoyant or something. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah. That's me rambling saying I agree with you.
I mean, it's uh, it's a window into Burton's peculiarities, and you're either on board or you're not. And I mean, I think I've said before, I'm kind of hot and cold on Tim Burton. I'm not on board with everything he does, but there's no doubt nobody else does
Mm.
what he does the way he does it.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know?
I was thinking about that. I mean, who knew, right? You see this footage of Disney animators, right? These home movies, and he's just the quiet kid in the corner. And like,
Hmm.
who knew that he would get the opportunity he did, and he would prove to be one of the most singular
Yeah.
voices in film for
This scene, by the way, real quick,
yeah.
it's really horrifying.
That's actually what I was about to say at the beginning, yeah, like a couple minutes ago. Like, it's always kind of bothered me, even as a kid, I think, but as an
Yeah.
adult, I'm like, this is awful.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, it's the way he's toying with her.
Yes.
I mean, it's sick. I mean, he's a sick person.
Yeah, and he's just gonna kill this person, push her out the
Yeah.
window, and
It's so funny because the Trump parallels are like plain to see. It's almost too obvious to point out. But like
yeah,
I look at Shrek and the Penguin, and I'm like, you put those two together, you have Donald Trump.
right, right, yeah, yeah. It. Sorry, now I'm looking at these cats. I have so many thoughts. I was thinking the other night, how in the world did the expression is hurting cats? How in the
Yeah,
world
you're
they get
right.
all these cats to do this stuff?
They
It's kind
must
of
have like put catnip all over her body or something.
totally. But even
Right?
these incredible shots of them like leaping over garbage cans and the shadows in the background is the ones in the foreground. I mean, this is really
Well,
well orchestrated.
and coming up here when her eyes flick
Yes.
open and her you just see the whites of her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's
This is
I mean,
great.
you can imagine a kid watching this and just being like, I want to go home.
Yeah. I'm like looking at their cat when they get home, like, ah, get away from me, Captain Whiskers.
This scene here, this is when the Catwoman music comes in,
Yes.
and
So good.
I think it's one of the best pieces of music Elfman has written.
Yeah.
Um,
It's heart-wrenching. Like this
yes, yes,
watching this scene is heart-wrenching. And when she flips out and throws the milk at the answering machine because of how everything is bottled up inside of her. It's yeah.
it's great. I mean, she does such a good job in this. Do you remember when they were talking about doing a Catwoman spinoff
Mm-hmm. Oh
with
yeah.
her?
Yep.
And I think most of the '90s that was getting kicked around, and I feel like it's such a loss we never got that
Yeah. I know.
because people would have turned up for that. I think they would have.
Definitely. Definitely. Um yeah. Yeah, repeating what you already said. I mean, having experienced this scene already and then getting to see her sort of zombie like walk through it and
Yeah,
just gurgling down this milk is just so like it's like delicious and sad and creepy and it's just everything.
yeah. It's so funny because we've gotten. I'm not including Halle Berry because she didn't play Selena Kyle, but we got Michelle Pfeiffer, we got Anne Hathaway, we have Zoe Kravitz playing like modern versions of Catwoman, and
Mhm.
each of the it's so distinct. Each of those versions
Oh yeah.
completely
Yeah.
different from each other. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Different motivations and
Yeah.
origins and well let me ask you then. What do you think about? Is this enough of an origin for you to just see her sort of revived by cats and it's never really
I mean,
exactly
it is
explained?
kind of goofy, right? Like in a pre-internet era, I don't know how pissed off people were that both Penguin and Catwoman are nothing like their comic book. At least their origins are nothing like the comic book version.
Now, in other versions, has Catwoman had some sort of supernatural link to cats, or is it more
No.
just her
Yeah, I
vibe?
mean, her comic book origin is essentially what we see of Zoe in the new one.
Right.
She's just like a cat burglar, you know?
Yeah.
So this whole kind of making her like the Crow or whatever,
Ha.
uh,
Yeah. Wow.
that's what this movie did, right?
Wow. That's
I should
funny.
say the Crow was like Catwoman, right?
Yeah. Right.
um,
Right.
because and they did this in that Catwoman movie. It was just like
I've
this.
actually never seen.
Oh my goodness, it's yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost not even worth talking about because it's the way people are like, oh, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm like, no, I've seen worse things, but it's
Sure.
not.
But I do remember I've seen, clips of it, and I remember her sort of like, downing milk and, playing into the
Yeah,
sort
I mean
of that.
they play a lot of the same beats.
Right.
But that's this movie that she's like this cat avatar or whatever. And it is kind of silly given what we see of Selena beforehand, that suddenly she's like this martial artist and she's doing like flips
Right.
and all that. And it's like,
Right.
what are the cats give you those
Yeah.
powers? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's really funny.
Like I like the idea that she just kind of she snapped, like the weight of her life finally uh she collapsed under it and she became sort of this version of herself that she always wishes she was. Like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
When you add in a skill set that she has no business knowing, that stretches credibility a little bit,
Right. I mean, I think that, yeah, I just got to remark on this. This is such an awesome image of her in the
Isn't
window.
that great? Look at, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like so many
Those
shots
cats.
in this movie, you could just frame them, hang them on a wall.
Yeah. And that's what I've always
This
said
right
about Burton.
here, you could frame this, put it up on the wall.
Absolutely. In like the smoke. I mean, there's so much in the frame. And that's what I've, through our commentaries, honestly, come to realize about Burton is he is a master with a frame. Like, he doesn't move the camera a ton, but he just creates these almost dynamic paintings. Like, his movies are made up of these incredibly dynamic, framed, filled shots. Yeah. This this is kind of reminds me now a little bit of the mimes at City Hall in the first one. Yeah.
Now this right here, tell me this isn't something right out of the 1966 show.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
This whole thing. And then you hear him like, not the dreaded penguin or whatever. Like,
yes. Yeah. Dude,
like,
watch
you
this
could
guy
have
go through the manhole, though.
You could have Burgess Meredith pop right out of that manhole.
Oh.
And you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, on his giant rubber ducky. Yeah, totally. Yeah. But it's funny because with the first one, I watched it again recently with Federica. She'd only seen it twice, and she was like, I love it. Like, it's a mood. She's like, but like, what do you think about when we talked about this on the Is It Jaws podcast recently too, which I think just dropped. And when the Batwing goes up in front of the moon, like, those feel like fewer and far between in the first film, right? And like, sort of like, how does the Joker have a fake hand at the end when he's like, here, let me give you a hand? But it's like, it only happens a couple times and you just go with it because you like the mood. But this one feels like that. This is that movie. Like, wait, where did he get the hand? How's the guy flipping through, like stealing the baby? And, like, this is fully leaning into that sort of more 66 or comic booky sort of ness of it all.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, if the marching orders of that earlier film were we want to be as far away from the 60s as possible. This one, and I don't think most people realized it.
Yeah.
That it was in fact very much sticking to some of those tropes from that show, which to me tells us of the enduring impact of that show, and not in a bad way.
I would really love. I bought that Blu-ray set when, after long last, they worked out some sort of deal with the rights between Fox and Warner's. I'd really love to sort of binge those and kind of
go
through them. Yeah.
or watch like 1-2-parter at a time. You know, like
Yeah. Or yeah. I mean, you'd probably watch like 6 in a row. You'd be like, all right. Maybe over the course of
I
like half a year before you go to bed, watch a handful of them.
look at Keaton's face here. Uh, he's able to do so much with so little. But I
Yeah.
love how Alfred says, "Oh, something wrong," and Bruce's first reaction is not to suspect him. He's just like, "I hope he finds his parents."
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that great?
I love the way he says it. Yeah. His parents. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hope he finds them.
yeah. You know, it's just this is the thing. I mean, nowadays we recognize Keaton as like one of our great actors,
Yeah.
but even back then, he was doing so much, and I don't think he got enough credit for how
Yeah.
good he was as both Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
You
Agreed.
know?
Yeah. Well, it's funny too, because I mean, this really was, save for Superman of the 70s. Like, this was kind of the beginning of it all.
Yep,
Right. And so you just don't know what you have until you have more to compare it against.
that's a good point. Yeah. And this was so early in the life of superhero franchises that Keaton was not signed to a multi-picture deal.
Right. Right.
Which, what a novel idea that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was able to negotiate per movie. He was able to say with the third one, nope, not going to come back.
Yep. By the way, that reporter there on the stairs, I mean, he's gone now, but I was like, oh, I wonder, you could have gotten Knox back, I guess. Just to,
Yeah,
but it seems like Burton wanted to lose all continuity.
yeah,
Like the earlier scripts were like a true sequel, but he kind of wanted this to feel like its own standalone thing, which I'd be
yeah. This
interested
one
to
we
hear him
get,
explain why.
well, we get a couple references to Vicky Vale,
Right.
uh, but all in the past tense, and that's about it. I mean, yeah, earlier versions, Vicky Vale would have come back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of glad they didn't bring her back, not because I dislike Kim Basinger, but I think that would have sort of cemented the idea of Vicky Vale being Batman's girlfriend.
Wow, that's interesting.
And,
Yeah.
right?
And how would that have impacted things moving forward?
Yeah, I think you know Superman has Lois Lane, and that you can never give Superman another girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
Whereas
Right.
with Batman, that's not been the case, really, right? I
Right.
love this too, by the way. This is one of the rare moments of Batman being a detective
Mm-hmm.
in any of these 4 films.
Yeah. That's funny.
And I like that he kind of connects the dots who the Penguin is. Alfred's like, "Oh, you feel better now?" And he's like, "Actually, I feel worse." Like he was hoping he he was hoping it wouldn't be the case.
Yeah. It's a funny little thing also with the whole soup,
Yeah.
He's like, Alfred, it's cold. It's supposed to be
Which,
cold. Oh, okay.
because
And he
he's
just
not.
eats it.
Yeah, well, he has. When you think about it, it's like he is in this world of wealth, but he's not of it.
I didn't
And
even
so
think of it that
something
way.
like he should know that, right? That's something you'd think he
Right.
would know.
Oh, that's funny. I like
Yeah.
that. See, this is the kind of stuff, I don't know how to explain this, but it's more of a feeling. But when you're watching a movie you've seen a million times, like say 89, and then you watch the sequel
Hmm.
and you're seeing the things in new contexts. I actually
Yeah.
remember this moment of Batman just driving through the empty
Same.
streets, through the
Same.
snow with a Batmobile. I was like, wow, I'm seeing something new.
Yeah. I feel that way because of those 4, this is the one I've probably seen the least. Uh,
Ye-
and not because I
Interesting.
revisit those other ones a ton, but it's just
Yeah.
kind of one of those things where, like, they'll have Batman and Robin on TV. I end up watching it, or Batman,
Yeah.
and this one
Yeah.
just kind of, I've seen it plenty of times, but probably collectively the least number. So I still do get that sense of the new from this one.
I definitely had not seen it in several years. So
Yeah.
it was, I mean, there's nothing I don't remember from this, but I was able to see it sort of fresh recently.
This
And
shot right here with Penguin in front of the gravestone. I mean, again, it's like right out of
oh,
a
yeah.
German expressionism film. And again,
Beautiful.
frame that, hang it on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that. When he gets to his knees, that's a beautiful shot,
Mm-hmm. Even just like the shaft of light coming down. I mean, it's all orchestrated. It's not, they didn't just set up lights and point and shoot. Like I feel like a lot of,
Yeah.
it's my complaint about a lot of modern films. It feels like they're like, yeah, we got this awesome scene in mind. We'll just, get a wide shot, medium, close up, call it a day. So it's like this is all, it's painted. It's all intentional.
It'd be funny if he comes out and he's like, "My name is Oswald Cobblepot, which sucks. So from now on, I'm Jet Turbo or something."
Jet Turbo. Oh, speaking of, I had like some casting notes down. Speaking of casting, did you know that they wanted David Bowie for Max Shrek?
I did know that. Yeah.
I was like, holy cow, that would have been amazing.
Isn't it something? Yeah, that would have been, talk about a time capsule.
Yeah, but he ended up doing the Twin Peaks movie instead. But and I think Christopher Walken's great, but like I can completely see the Bowie thing too.
Yeah. It's funny. I was watching this earlier, and my oldest is like, "Where have I seen Christopher Walken before?" And I was like, I don't know that you've seen anything with him in it. And he's like, he just sounds really familiar. And then I was like, oh wait, he's Ed Glosser, Trivial Psychic from that Saturday Night Live sketch.
It's funny. It's not even the cowbell one that he knows.
Yeah, no, it's Ed Glosser, Trivial Psychic. I was like, well, you haven't seen Pulp Fiction, so it's not that.
Right.
I put the watch in my ass.
Yeah. That's such a good scene.
I remember when I was attending college at DuPage, I was in a class called Reader's Theater, and we would do little scenes and stuff. So I was in a group, and we did a scene from Winnie the Pooh, and I said, "Hey, instead of Christopher Robin, let's make a Christopher Walken." So that was my contribution. It's like, Pooh Bear, you're the best bear.
Dude, that's great. Oh wait, that's Bob Kane's wife there, right? Who's in all the films? He's like was that her? Who became a prince?
What's her name? Elizabeth Sanders.
Yeah.
Gossip Gertie. She's in 3 and 4.
This is a good scene.
Yeah, you can imagine a kid getting horrified in just a second or two when.
It is. It's like, whoa.
Right here. There it is. Look at the design of Catwoman's costume. It's so iconic.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, she never looked like that in the comic with all the stitching and everything.
Right. Which I love.
She never looked like that again.
And it feels very Burton-y. Mm-hmm. You can see this drawing on a sketch pad.
See this right there where she's like doing the flips back and forth. I'm like, wait, you're telling me.
That's so funny. But it looks cool.
It does look cool. Now coming up right here, this is one of my favorite scenes in any Batman movie ever. This right here.
Yeah.
And it's just two guys in a boardroom. I love it.
Yeah.
I like right there where he's like, not sure I like the inference, Bruce. And he's like, not sure I made one, Max.
Right.
And when he throws the sheaf of papers at him.
Mm-hmm. It's a great toss.
It's like he's throwing a batarang, Brian. It's like right here, look at it. I don't know, for some reason I love that. I mean, this is like a power play. This is like a domination game right here.
Which is funny because you typically see Wayne sort of aloof.
Yes.
Right? And it's kind of cool seeing him get all defensive against, a slimy bureaucrat kind of guy or businessman.
Well, that's what I like. I like that we're getting Bruce Wayne caring about Gotham, and he's going to defend Gotham the way he can.
Right.
What I kind of like is, this is sort of what you hope that like Pattinson Bruce Wayne will be in the next one.
Right. Now he's kind of snapped out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I just, again, this is where I'm like, Keaton is clearly more comfortable with the role.
Yeah.
He's found a lane that works.
Mm-hmm.
Like this right here. I mean, he's talking like Batman, right? He's part of the Red Triangle game. Like, why is he saying that to Shrek, right?
Right.
He's not, my point is, it's not like he's revealing something about himself. No, this is obviously people know Bruce Wayne as more than just, like, it's different from what Christian Bale does, is what I'm saying. Like, like his public persona is just the guy who doesn't care. This Bruce Wayne does care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then and she's back. And now they had dated, right? Michael Keaton and Michelle Pfeiffer, I thought I had read.
Yeah, separate from this.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
that's right.
we're past that. And I wonder if that was kind of, be kind of interesting. Have your ex.
They have great chemistry. Oh, I love this. I mistook me for someone else.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's fun seeing him flustered.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing this new Selena here, you got to imagine Max is like, all cocky and strutting in and
Meow.
yeah.
And we haven't mentioned at all that she was the second choice.
Yes, that's right. Much like Vicky Vale in the first one.
Yeah, so Sean Young, famously, who was originally cast as Vicky Vale, she tried to get the Catwoman role.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
Right.
pursuing ill-advised
Pushing a little
path.
too hard.
Yeah, like for those of you who don't know, I'm sure anybody listening to this knows, but she showed up, Sean Young, at the studio wearing a homemade Catwoman costume
Mm-hmm.
to say, "Oh, it should be me," and they weren't having it. And she even was on talk shows and things wearing that, which I feel bad like reading about that.
I know
Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you're putting yourself out there, and you got to respect that on some level.
See, it's funny because I know, for a while it was sort of like a punchline against her.
Yes,
But there are versions of that story where it works. Like
that's
you
exactly
have to
right.
do things to stand out, and it's just like this person was so bold, and the Catwoman walked into the room,
That's right.
kind of a
Yeah,
thing. But this
exactly.
unfortunately didn't work out, and it becomes kind of cringy and humiliating for her. And I think there was a time when I was just like, "Oh, that's nuts," and now I'm like, oh, "That poor person,"
Yeah,
like
no, I mean, because she has not had much of a career since,
right.
and that could arguably be traced to what happened on Batman Returns. And so, I mean, you can't help but empathize with that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Now that said, they cast Annette Bening.
Yes, who I can see, I can imagine that.
I can imagine it, but it's hard for me to picture Annette Bening doing what Michelle Pfeiffer does in this movie.
Yeah, I guess maybe even the voice a little bit and sort of the
Mm-hmm.
look, but yeah, no, what Michelle, that like electricity that Michelle
Mm-hmm.
Pfeiffer brings is just, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
look at
Annette
that.
Bening, by the way, dropped out because
She got,
she was in The
pregnant.
Family Way.
In the family, is that an expression?
That is, yeah.
In the family way. I like that.
Like it used to be that you couldn't say pregnant on television.
I was going to say that feels like something you would say in the 50s to your boss, like, well, my wife is now of the family way and we need time off. Mr. Peterson, like.
Mr. Peterson.
I like how this gang is just sitting over there in the corner. It's so goofy. Right? This is gross.
The doughy like weird shape that DeVito has in this suit. Like I mean obviously he was a heavier set guy, but this is like a thing like a fat suit that he's wearing,
Yeah.
And it's really like it's so grotesque.
It's hard to imagine.
Yeah. Like what he looks like.
What? Yeah. Under those long johns. But yeah, this is so like, it's so funny because I like sushi, but something about seeing him munch on this fish carcass. So gross.
Yeah, this definitely is one of those things that I'm sure got some parent groups all aflutter.
Which part? This next scene?
Well, yeah, well, he's about to bite dude's nose. He's fantasizing about having his way with one of the other people there.
Yeah, this is kind of an ugly scene, I think.
It's so weird, right? Because I'm looking at this film from two perspectives. As somebody who I was 12 going on 13 when this movie came out, and I'm now a parent of kids right around in that age range, and I'm like I'm really bipolar about like, is this appropriate or not?
Yeah. No, that's
Jan Hooks, by the way.
Yeah, I love Jan Hooks.
Yeah. R.I.P. Jan Hooks.
R.I.P. Such a talent. I mean, SNL, and then Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yep.
The Alamo
And
tour
she was
guide.
on probably Designing Women at this time, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, this guy, that's I know who that is.
Me too. He is definitely one of those guys, especially from this era. But I don't.
You know who he is? You know what I would know him from? I'm
Huh.
thinking about this. He was on Hogan Family.
Wow.
He was like one of Jason Bateman's buddies.
Yes. Wow. You just
It just
unlocked a file cabinet in my brain that had been closed for a very long time. But yeah, pretty gnarly. Biting the nose. Blood literally squirting out.
it's pretty nasty.
But it's obviously the things he's saying and doing are grotesque, but it's also his just sort of spittle and grunting and his, you know what I mean? He's just such an unpleasant presence. It just sort of makes you sort of cringe the whole time he's on screen.
See, but I think there's something really interesting going on there, which is, he is being manipulated by Shrek, right? And the way in which people's perceptions can be manipulated based on people who have privilege.
Right.
And so this guy who's Gotham Santa Claus, quote unquote, Santa Claus, I don't think so, whatever he says. He tells people, no, he's great, he's wonderful. And people are like, oh, wow, okay, right?
Yeah.
But people are so fickle. I mean, their loyalty just ebbs and flows on a dime,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, people talking about like the sexual innuendo here, right? And obviously it's clear as day if you're watching it as an adult. But here's the thing: people are like, oh, kids are going to watch it; they're going to have all kinds of horrible things in their mind. And I'm like, if you're a kid, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's a lot of movies like that where I rewatched them as an adult and was like, what? Like that's been there the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's still played in such a gross way where I was paying attention to it this time where Hooks turns around and looks at him as he's talking about her and she doesn't have like a scowl like F you. Like she has this like worried look. So it feels like ugh. Like it just feels a little more nasty.
I mean, the whole idea of a Batman villain running for office and stuff, I mean, it's inherently
So
ridiculous.
classic. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's just, it's right out of the 60s show. And more importantly, like it fits in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you couldn't do this world building in the Nolan films in the same way.
No.
But I think that's what's cool, and we've talked about this before. We've got the Bill Dozier version of Batman. You've got the Tim Burton version. You got the Schumacher, Nolan. Matt Reeves is doing his thing, and they're all distinct, right? And yet you all look. You're like, well, it's all Batman.
I love it. I love that we have the option.
Yeah, and I think when I was a kid, that probably would have made me mad.
Yes,
that each version is so different. I'm like, why aren't you doing it like that?
Mm-hmm.
But I think maybe it's just at the passage of time, you appreciate the variety of stories you're able to tell.
Yep. Because one night I might be in the mood for something a little more serious, like The Batman, or I want this, sort of manic, dark, sort of fun. Like it just depends.
Speaking of manic, I like that as compared to the first one, Batman is slightly more mobile in this.
Yes. What did they make changes to the suit? I didn't notice. I mean, well, the emblem is different.
The emblem is different. Yeah, apparently there was like a rights issue that prevented them from using this classic emblem.
Yeah.
That said, they changed I've said this before, but like the abs section of the suit.
Yes.
To kind of this more armored looking thing.
Yes.
And I prefer the Batman 89 abs.
I think I do too. Yeah.
That said, I think the cowl they redesigned, they slimmed down the cowl. It looks really good in this.
Yeah. That's so crazy. The sword swallower guy. Oh wait, no, this is first. I was just gonna say we get the dynamite moment, but not yet.
So what's the significance of this cat design here, this face?
I think it's the Shrek logo, but I don't know why.
But it feels inspired by something. I believe it is the Shrek logo.
Right. It feels like excuse me.
Felix the cat looking kind of.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Like not exactly, but Felesque.
So yeah. Which fits with the excuse me, out of time sort of Gothamness of Tim Burton's thing, where there's sort of a 40s thing going on, but also a modern thing going on.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, this was like Michelle Pfeiffer is actually doing this.
I think
Like,
so. I had read her talking about working with a whip trainer, and I think recently she was on social media, like she found the whip and was like, "Hey, look, I can still do it."
and a whole bunch of people reading that tweet went boing.
That's hilarious.
Go on.
I love the. I mean, she's so amazing. Like the whole whipping thing, and then like using it as a jump rope and skipping away. Like
That's great.
I wish we'd gotten more of her as Catwoman.
Seriously,
Maybe we will in the Flash film.
That's
if we
a
ever
good
see
point.
it.
That's a good point. They may need to replace Ezra Miller by the time that movie comes out.
Yep. But we'll see.
It looks like Batman's just kind of, well, done with my day. I'm just kind of walking along now.
Look at this dynamite. Wilhelm scream
Here comes
here.
another murder, by the way.
Yep.
Just a happy murderer, this guy is.
Well, he's trying to walk home.
He's so happy.
This is so cartoonish too. The whole him looking down,
Yeah.
And then his like sinister grin. Like,
Sorry, you were saying, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no. I actually don't remember, but yeah, I love that. It's so not what we get from Batman these days, but it's still kind of fun, even a little against his ethos, I suppose. But I just love her skipping and all. It's just so fun.
She enjoys her work.
Mm-hmm.
See, this here, where Batman has this line where he's like, what do you want? We were talking about that Tiger Electronics game. I just remember that commercial where there were like certain sound bites from the film that were, so there's that, and the time has come to punish, but
That's hilarious.
So,
wow.
Whenever I see those parts in the movie, I think of that commercial and like the dumb kid who's like reciting those lines.
That's so funny.
This is a thing for me. When I was a kid, I always hated those kids in toy commercials.
Yeah, right.
I had this weird irrational hatred for them. I don't know why.
That's so funny. I don't know that I felt that, but I was always aware that the way that they were playing was not possible. Like they would have these elaborate setups that they would put the action figures in, and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to have that.
The way they'd be talking all excited, I'm like, shut up. Hasbro gave you those.
That's so funny. That's got to be like her, if of several, but pretty iconic moments there, right?
Yes, yeah.
Flipping out of the building, saying meow, and then the building
Meow.
blowing up. Awesome.
See this right? Like the helicopter umbrella makes no sense from a physics point of view, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think at any point you're watching this like, well, that's ridiculous, because again, they've established sort of the dreamlike qualities of this universe.
Yeah, well put. Dreamlike qualities. Yeah. I like it. Why not?
It's so interesting because the Burton Batman was, relatively speaking, contemporaneous with the Christopher Reeve Superman films. And
wait, what do you mean?
Well, like Superman 4 was 87, Batman was 89. So
I see.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like people tend to lump in Chris Reeve Superman with Adam West Batman. I'm like, no, it's closer. It would be more like, if you had your hypothetical Justice League, it would be Christopher Reeve and Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
And yet it's these entirely different approaches to creating a comic book world, where what Richard Donner did was, we're going to treat it, this is verisimilitude.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim Burton was like, we're going to create a comic book world that can allow for somebody like Batman to exist in it.
Right. Yeah.
And neither approach is wrong.
No.
But it does show the boundaries of how you can approach these characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so funny. I'm sort of, watching it now with the sound off. I remember this interaction between them feeling more like a collection of lines they wanted them to say than an actual scene. But watching it with the sound off, I am kind of tracking it. Like they're sort of play fighting across the rooftops.
Yeah.
but they're being very quippy, or at least she is.
Yeah, I kind of wish it was a little sexier.
Yeah,
Like,
it feels, you know what I'm saying? Like it almost
yeah,
feels like things they wanted to make sure they had them say and do, and it's executed and cut together. But yeah, I wish there was a little more flow to it, a little more
like
actual
more of a
feeling.
dance and less of a
Yeah,
fight, right? Because I
yeah.
like the idea. I like because the whole duality is like at the heart of this whole thing, right? And the idea that Batman is attracted to Catwoman for one reason, and Bruce is attracted to Selina for a different reason.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know, if you can sum up this entire movie, it's we're the same, split down the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this movie's about. Uh, and I think they have such a great chemistry together that just makes it work. So even the scene that we just saw, like it's fine, but I would have liked a little more like seduction.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
Because right here, Catwoman shows up and she's like, "We need to go after Batman," and I'm like, "Why?"
I when I watched this the other night, I thought the same thing. I didn't understand. I mean, if she just wants to cause chaos and he's stopping her, I mean, I can maybe put two and two together, but I don't feel like it's super clear.
It's not just that.
And why does she?
Why
Why does she
would
even want him? Like what?
Yeah,
You know, like
exactly. Like
yeah,
both of those things. Number one, okay, let's stipulate the Batman thing. Why would you go to the Penguin? What makes you think you guys have, the aligned goals? You don't know each other.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, that's again where it started. I had like one version of this in my mind for all these years, but then this is when the whole 66ness of it started to occur to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, it's kind of goofy,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
Um, this is interesting, by the way. It hasn't happened yet, but when he's going up the stairs, you can see these women he's talking to and some of the other supporters,
Mm-hmm.
and then he walks up. It's like one shot. He goes up the stairs, and Catwoman's up there, and I was like, oh wow, they had all those people down there just to get this setup, of him coming up. See what I
Yeah,
mean?
right there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was just like, oh, it's kind of impressive, and like the fake flash bulbs and the whatever, and got his gang waiting up there. I was just impressed by the vastness of this one shot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they clearly had a bigger budget for this.
Yeah, yeah. But even Michelle Pfeiffer waiting on the bed already, like
Look at that shot right there. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Oh lordy.
My voice
I'm
just
gonna be in my
dropped.
bunk.
Yeah. um. Oh, so something when I was looking up about this movie that I'd forgotten was that Catwoman posters like at bus stops were being stolen. I remember this being a news
Oh, I
story.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they were just, I don't know, constantly they'd put them back up, constantly getting ripped off because she just looks so damn cool.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It is I mean, we've gotten so many great depictions of Batman villains,
Mm-hmm.
and I just think that her version of Catwoman is just up there among the very best.
Yep. Yep. I would have loved to have seen her in more stories.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice the air conditioner in the background before, but of course he's got to keep it cold.
So the whole thing with the Batmobile and the taking control of it, yeah, like you said, right out of the old TV show.
Right. Right. Which I guess I looked it up, but in the novel, because I was wondering where'd they get those plans, and in the novelization, it says that he got it from a disgruntled engineer who helped design it, and I was like, well, that opens some questions, or raises
Yeah,
some questions.
yeah. Well, speaking of stuff that was cut out of this movie, Robin was originally going to be in it.
Yeah.
It was going to be Marlon Wayans as Robin.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
Which,
yeah. Okay.
when I was just when I hear that, certainly now, I'm like, I would have liked to see that.
Me too. And I read about how he was going to be incorporated, and it was Batman turned to him. He was a young mechanic, and he was going to
Yeah.
use him to fix the Batmobile after Penguin seized control of it. And then he goes back to him in the third act when he needs to descramble the signal of the Penguin army. I was like, oh, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, he was going to have these overalls with like a R on it,
Mm.
and so it would have been more subtle. thing, a John Blake type thing,
Right.
Which again, when you say is like early '90s Marlon Wayans as Dick Grayson / Robin, I'm like, I feel like we missed out on something. I feel like that would have been really interesting.
Yeah, I can totally see it. And didn't they go so far as to even make action figures? But then,
Yeah, well, we've talked about this before. I have it in my garage. I have the Batman Returns Robin action figure.
mm,
And it's Robin. He's wearing the Tim Drake costume from around that era, and he's white. But
hmm,
if I look at that face and I'm like, if you told me that was a Marlon Wayans action figure, I'd believe you.
that's interesting.
So I don't know for certain if it got that far,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not out of the realm of possibility for me,
Right.
And my understanding is that Wayans got paid for the sequel.
That's what I've heard that.
Like they had to buy out his contract. So hey,
Yeah.
good for him.
Yeah. Which, by the
You
way,
know?
this is becoming a theme, but the 66ness of it, Cat wouldn't be like, I'm just going to give myself a bath right here. And just starts licking herself. It's like so
But we
silly.
talked right past her putting the bird in her mouth.
Yes.
She really did that.
She really did that. Yep. Which is totally messed up.
Like, this was bird in your mouth. I'm imagining that. Putting a living thing in your mouth that's
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking about its little claw feet and like,
right.
and like, what if it poops out of being scared? Like, but it does look really good. And
It's a great
for
shot.
having done it at all, I mean, they captured it amazingly. The way the way it flies directly at camera.
Yeah. The thought I had earlier today watching is, are there any like clearly daytime shots in this movie?
Right.
Because this, I'm not sure. I guess it could be daytime, I guess, but I'm honestly not sure, right?
Gotham daytime, yeah.
Right, like because in the first one there's a few, right? There's like the city hall scene with the mimes and stuff, where and the when he goes to Crime Alley, that's obviously daytime,
right?
But you talked about a snow globe earlier. I mean, I feel this movie, the aesthetic, it feels like Dark City to me.
Ha, yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's just kind of fun seeing Selena and Bruce connecting. Mm-hmm. By the way, I never noticed how much the Ice Princess is seen in this movie before.
Yes, totally. I thought about that. I was like, they do kind of make you aware of her before they kill her off.
Way more than I ever realized. Right. I think I saw her name at the beginning and was like, oh, wow, she got billed pretty high. And then watching it, I started noticing her everywhere. I was like, oh, I mean, she's somewhat out of focus and in the background here, but she was there and she's, she's acting back there preparing for her evening. And actually her story is very sad.
It is. Yeah.
Right.
And this actor, she's Christy Conway, by the way. She's now a fashion designer.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Doing her thing. So then we got, this all worked out for a reason. The dog's snagging the Batarang.
Yeah, some nice seeding of all the various elements.
Mm-hmm. There is a plan.
Where it's not, although that the thing earlier with the Batarang with where he punches in like, oh, get like 5 people. I'm like, that's a lot of programming. Like, what's the firmware required?
I know.
Do that.
It feels very. I mean, yeah. Or I was gonna say the Robin Hood thing was like last year, right? Where it was just like, dude, we have the camera follow an object. I think I even at the time remember thinking like, oh wow, this is like that Robin Hood thing.
That's funny,
right? Or I should say, following an arrow in Robin Hood. It's one of its most famous shots.
That was in like every commercial, every TV spot.
Yeah.
See, we were talking earlier about how the complaint about Batman being underserved in this film, and I'm like, it's really not, because the scenes he gets are effective.
Mm-hmm.
So there is this issue of having to service these villains, and I do think it's pretty clear that the grotesques are where Burton's interests lie more of, right?
Totally. Yeah.
And so in that sense, Keaton sort of has a thankless job where he has to be. It's the exact inverse of what he did with Beetlejuice, right? He's
Yeah.
the Alec Baldwin in these movies, right?
Ha, that's so funny. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think it's necessary, obviously. And just look at the characterization. He's in this scene right here. I'm just looking at his face,
Yeah.
and he's bringing so much of his personality, and it's so distinct. It's so different from any other Bruce Wayne we've ever gotten.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Like there's this vulnerability and sort of borderline, psychosis that this Bruce has. That nobody else drove down that lane.
Mm-hmm.
Bale was doing something totally different. Kilmer
Yeah.
Kilmer didn't get to do much, unfortunately.
No, I don't remember, honestly. He felt a little like a blank slate to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not a huge surprise that Kilmer bailed after the one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, this is thankless, right?
Kind
I
of,
think
yeah.
he says in that documentary, the Val documentary, like just the childhood fun of being able to play Batman. He didn't even really get that out of it.
Yeah. This is always kind of like a fun sort of concept in these sorts of movies where
Yeah.
the two characters are getting close to realizing what we know, That's pretty gnarly mark on her arm. What was that from again?
That was napalm. Because Batman just be carrying napalm around.
Oh, that was that. Yeah, that little. I just didn't even think about what he was throwing at her.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Hey, there's
we just
Gordon.
saw Gordon. We just saw Gordon again, and again, I'm like, I think we get like one more shot of him later when the Ice Princess falls.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, this is all fun. They both need to leave, and they're trying to coordinate it through Alfred.
That's one thing, man. This movie gives Michael Gough a lot to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love it because he sort of gives this air of like being slightly above it all.
Right.
I mean,
really
I really I love the kinship between them. It's even more so than in the first one. Like he's not just the guy who's dusting; he's also helping out with the Batman stuff, which is cool.
Which is interesting because, I mean, learning that about the Robin character, it could have been them working together, right, with the scrambling thing, but then they give it to Alfred.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Daniel Waters, who wrote the script, was very adamant about not wanting Robin anywhere near this thing.
It's a difficult idea to, I think, see tangibly in a live action film.
That's the thing. That's because I am team Batman and Robin, and I don't mean the movie Batman and Robin. I mean
Right.
them being a team. I am that. I want that. But I'm fully cognizant of like viewers have been conditioned over 30 plus years to think that is ridiculous. Right. So how do you tackle that? I just find that funny that he's got like a closet full of
I know. Is that meant to be
on hangers?
Yeah.
Now tell me how that's any less ridiculous than sliding down the pole and hitting a little switch that says costume, and
right.
You come down at the costume, right? I mean,
that's hilarious.
It's just different levels of ridiculous.
Yeah. And those boots, by the way, I mean, you probably knew this, but they're Air Jordans.
Yeah, right.
Just with the more fanciful stuff built on top of them to look like bat boots. So it's kind of weird to think he's running around in sneakers.
Well, it's practical.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's the fundamental problem is that audience have been conditioned to think that Batman having a sidekick is ridiculous, and yet we also fully realize that Batman is a sidekick. How do you deal with that?
Yeah.
You make it Marlon Wayans, damn it.
That's right.
And there is just when we talk about all the critiques of woke casting and this and that, we thank goodness that this was the pre-internet era.
Oh yeah, I didn't even
because as soon as that news leaked, people would have lost their minds, of course.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. So the CGI shielding this time, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
different.
It's like very obvious that
Yeah.
it's some 1992 CGI.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's some lawnmower man esque CGI.
Lawnmower Man. Yes. Remember when that was like, wow,
People had
they
some
did it.
funny ideas about cyberspace.
Yes, yes, I know. I
Because
think I
that
meant
movie, if you remember the ads, like a big chunk of the marketing campaign was like, and you're gonna screw in
yes.
cyberspace.
I
People
know.
doing all kinds of weird stuff. And I was like, that doesn't I don't know, that doesn't look appealing to me.
I know. That reminds me, I saw the movie Disclosure for the first time a couple of years ago, and
Oh
virtual
wow.
virtual reality is like a huge part of that. And there's
Mhm.
like a whole chase through virtual reality to retrieve a file. And I was like, dude, this would be so much easier with a mouse. Just click on a folder. But everybody thought it was going to be the thing, or at least that version of it, in the 90s.
Yeah, there was a period there in the 90s where people had some funky ideas about cyberspace.
Yeah.
It turned out to be a lot more boring in hindsight.
Right. You know what's funny, by the way? This movie, too, I hadn't noticed how quippy and almost catty, no pun intended,
Mm,
it kind of is. And then I was like, oh, I
mhm,
wonder if that is Daniel Waters. I mean, you think of Heathers. I mean, that's just like a ton
mhm.
of
Yeah,
fun,
yeah.
snarky one-liners. But apparently, Wesley Strick came in and did a
He did
big
the
dialogue
he
pass.
rewrote Waters.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are
Yeah.
plot elements, definitely Waters plot elements that are still there, but some of the more significant ones, like losing Robin. I guess this is what I'm reading, but there was it was going to be have Robin in it, and then Shrek was going to be the Penguin's older brother. That was taken out with Strick.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, like he came up with the firstborn sons being kidnapped, all that stuff. So
Which
kind of interesting,
see, I think that's the see this is sad right here. Ugh.
dude. And the music is so dark.
Yep.
It's like this like minor key church organ as this woman's plummeting. It feels so heavy.
And then the sort of dark comedy of she lands on the thing, the lights turn
Lights the
on.
tree, yeah.
Yeah,
All the bats coming out attacking. Burton is just like hee, just like
yeah.
all this
See,
awfulness.
see, the idea of Gordon vouching for Batman,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
being
yeah.
like hold your fire, all that stuff. I'm like, we need a couple scenes, one scene,
Yes,
right?
yes,
We
no,
need the rooftop scene.
definitely, definitely. Like maybe he's learning to trust him, but then it's like he's being tested here, right?
Yeah,
But there's just no relationship.
yeah. I mean, granted, the Batman is very fresh in both of our minds, but like the way that movie does such a good job of really situating these two guys as being sort of joined at the hip.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of the. There you go. That's a nice shot right there. Michelle Pfeiffer just like licking your face.
What's funny? This was one of the scenes that sort of it's very memorable, but it stood out to me on this viewing because it feels like all the energy of what came before has been completely forgotten. That
Yes.
like the city is under siege by bats, and this woman's just been murdered, and it's this huge deal, and now it's a very slow, sort of seductive kind of
Yeah.
thing, and it feels like it was shot a month later. You know what I mean? As opposed to feeling
Oh,
like
that's a great point. Yeah.
right but it's like certainly something you want to see. You do want to see Catwoman licking his face and all this, like it, but it feels like they wanted it so bad they didn't find a way to naturally weave it in.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. This thing with his little like remote wing thing, whatever this is,
Yeah.
this flying getup, it sure feels like that was like a toy company request,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm fairly certain they made a toy like that with the wings that pull out like that.
Yeah. That woman kind of reminds me of the Warriors, now that that's fresh in my head. The headdress and the vest and all that.
See, now this was the movie that started we got to have two villains and they got to team up.
Yes.
No matter how ill-conceived those team ups are, because I can go along with the Catwoman and Penguin team up, but once you have Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy,
Poison Ivy.
I'm like, I don't know. It feels like you're just throwing darts at this point,
Totally.
Like I was hoping they would get back to just one villain per movie,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Real quick, sorry to go back to this, but yeah, just seeing this whole, she's watching the melee below and he's showing up with champagne and she's like, I thought you said you were just going to scare her. Like that feels like what should have happened next. Like Batman jumping off the roof to go help the city or do whatever. And then her being like, dude, this is not what we talked about. Like that feels awkwardly inserted having that moment with them, with Batman and Catwoman there. Even though I want it, like I like that scene. I think it's fun, but
Yeah, it's
energy feels
interesting.
off.
You think there was some sort of post filming, post principal filming, like
Maybe.
scotch taping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, but it's just something I'd never thought about until I was kind of watching it with a more critical eye
Yeah.
for this. That looks cool, doesn't it? That's like old school effects. But her,
I was thinking that. Well, and when she's in front of like the matte painting,
yeah,
of Gotham.
yeah.
See this right here, where she screams and the glass shatters.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That we're in like a heightened reality world.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason that should happen.
Right.
So you just have to roll with it.
Yeah, it's cool.
You say, oh, well, that's what they're doing here,
Thank you. I have business to attend to. Doesn't this feel so 66?
Yeah,
now I'm going to go
he's
into
got
my
the
van.
little the outside the Jewel Osco
yes,
car thing.
Exactly. But you know what's interesting about that? I totally forgot. There was like a whole deleted element that I think was even created and filmed where there were Batman souvenir shops in Gotham. You can like Google this.
Okay.
And they had them on set. Like there's shops with the Batman logo that was selling Batman merchandise, and that was going to be a plot point.
That because the city turns against him.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know how it was going to factor, but that would explain why he would even have this toy.
Oh, that he would.
Batmobile.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see. I was thinking like you have a shot, you have like Gotham City, they're Batman fans, and then he killed the Ice Princess, and he's doing this havoc here, and now we're against him.
Yes, I don't even know how it was incorporated, but I Googled it just to double check myself because I remembered seeing it on Reddit or something. But yeah, this is
this is the old monologuing villain trope, right?
right.
He's just laying it all out.
This is some great
and
practical
Batman has
stuff.
He's got the presence of mind to put a CDR in there.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that.
While Penguin's saying the most vile stuff.
He's like, this is some good stuff. Yeah.
I do like this is like maybe the one time ever in a Batman movie where he looks completely panicked.
Yes.
Like ever.
Yep.
Because that's kind of the Batman. Oh no, Batman is always one step ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, not this guy. He seems like a little concerned.
Oh nope.
Yep.
I love all the flipping cars and all that. I mean, that's good looking stuff.
And unlike, as you mentioned earlier, unlike the first one, it does feel like it's occupying slightly more real estate than the like one roundabout that all of 89 takes place in.
Yeah. I played this stinking city like a harp from hell. Ah!
Yeah, I say that all the time. Yeah. That's just part of my vernacular now.
I know. It just works in so many different situations. Did they do any redesigns to the Batmobile? Not anything notable, right?
Well, they added the feature where it becomes the Bat missile.
Right.
But the car itself is the same.
Yep. I guess it's with each director it changes then.
Well, I mean, but Schumacher changed it twice because he has two different versions of the Batmobile.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Actually, it's so funny. I have one in my head that I can't remember which one it's from.
If it has an open top, it's from Batman and Robin.
Okay, that might be it. Where it's sort of like skeletal looking, like there's sort of tiger stripes, with like
that
texture
is
below.
That's Batman Forever, I believe.
Oh shoot! So I'm like conflating them in my head. That's what we're getting.
Both are somewhat unmemorable, I would say.
Yeah. I remember even as a kid, I was like, nah.
See this where the stuff strips off here, and it's just enough to get through exactly this alley.
Yeah.
That's a cool bit of functionality. But I'm like, what kind of weird ass alleys do they have in Gotham City?
Right,
Like that,
right.
it makes no sense.
I didn't
How does
even
that even
think about it.
like?
That's
What is
hilarious.
that?
That is so weird. That's so funny.
And I'm like, did Batman specifically like? What does that serve? By the Bat missile thing?
I know that a lot of engineering, just in case he ever has
For like a
to
one-time use.
speed through old, weird alley in Gotham.
Yeah, it's like this is the stuff I think about. I'm like, well, people could just pick up those like
Those
discarded
pieces.
Batmobile parts, and
Yep.
they could trace it back pretty quick, you know.
Yep.
But again, that's
Honestly, that'd be kind of a cool in the third one.
yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Took the pieces,
It is.
reverse.
It is a shame we didn't see Billy D. Williams in this one.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I don't know how far along he factored into the plans for this movie, but I would assume I mean they plan to bring him back at some point, you know.
Right. Which they did in comic book form recently, right?
Yeah, so I read the first issue and then I just kind of fell away. But Sam Hamm wrote that, right? The Batman 89.
Yeah, I read 2, maybe 3, and then I was like, oh, okay. Like it didn't feel
not really
as
feeling
it didn't feel as connected to this universe as I anticipated, I guess.
Okay.
It felt more in sort of, suit style only, which was like, okay, well.
This thing here where he's razzing Alfred for letting Vicky Vale in the back.
Right.
First, I love the insight into their relationship, but I just love Keaton's delivery.
Right.
Because it just feels very Michael Keaton.
I was also thinking, I don't know if I'd want to stick my hand in a fish tank every time I had to go to the Batcave.
I was thinking about that. I was like, I was actually wondering that. I was like, is that the one thing, or does he have maybe a couple different
right
thing? Like that's that what do they call those things with the spikes inside? That has a name, right? Iron Maiden. Is that the Iron Maiden?
Oh, is that what that is?
I think that's Iron Maiden. That's the thing to open that version, that door into the Batcave, but there's other ways to get there.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's funny thinking that as a medieval torture device. You think nowadays where it's like, man, what has happened to us? We have these sick movies and sick ideas and Saw films and whatever. And it's like, no, they thought of that stuff a long time ago.
Human beings have been terrible for all of humanity's existence.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Now let's watch this where we go back to a simpler time where a politician can say one bad thing.
You're right.
And be completely rejected.
Oh man, that did not even occur to me. That is so so quaint.
I mean, Trump was like, I could shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose a supporter. And people were like,
give him hell. Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to say that out loud. You know?
I know.
That's the thing that the Penguin would say and then would be played.
Yes.
People are like,
yes.
oh, that's awful. You know?
That's so funny. You're right. It does. I mean, certainly times have changed a lot since 92 even, but like this does still harken back to me to like sort of the quainter, tidier sort of, well, he said one wrong thing and now the city's throwing tomatoes at him kind of.
The signs come down.
Yeah. Yeah. The record scratch. So funny.
Yeah, somebody, a comment that I saw somebody describe this movie as, they said it feels very episodic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really good description. It feels like these little vignettes that are stitched together by bits of business that all kind of come together. But while you're in it, it does feel a little bit like, okay, what's this leading up to?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know? And which is why I think the last, I mean, we're just about into the last half hour now. Yeah. Like the last half hour, I think rolls along pretty solidly. Yeah. Because it's on the back of all the buildup we've had up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
because it's been pretty slow when you think about it, pacing wise.
Yeah. And it does have a nice little arc, I guess, for the Penguin, right? Like trying to become what people want him to be. So, and he's going to use that to his advantage. But then at the end, when it all fails him, he's like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to be myself.
Yeah,
And
I'm not Oswald. I'm the Penguin.
yeah, exactly. I can hear the music here again too. It's one of those moments. I also love this, by the way, like the cops just shooting at him, where it's just like, he just defamed our city. Shoot him. Like, what? Like,
yeah, I mean that whole thing with the cops chasing him, that's like right out of Caligari. People are chasing Caligari. He looks just like that. It's very, very clear what Burton's influences are.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And we were talking about Trump. I pictured this is Trump going back to Mar-a-Lago after the insurrection.
My babies, my penguins.
He tears off his suit. I'm no longer the time has come. It's like, yeah, that's kind of what he's doing right now.
Dude, I don't know if that's funny or not, but I am laughing at the comparison. That's pretty good.
Look, come on, that's him walking right back into Mar-a-Lago. He's smacking them. Come on.
Great speech.
I'm an animal.
That's right.
This really, see, I have a complicated relationship with this film because there's so much that I like about it. I don't know that I can say I like it 100%.
Yeah.
But it's so it's just unlike any other Batman movie we've ever gotten,
What you're saying? Oh, sorry. No, you keep going. Because I'm going to agree with you.
It harkens back to me. Like, what I appreciate about it is the time where you could do a superhero sequel like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so nuts. And it's so reflective of the filmmaker's personality. And, it's like this, it's a unicorn of a thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that poor clown.
And you get to shoot clowns.
I know.
Who doesn't want a movie where clowns are shot? Come on.
No, he's like, kill it.
Not me. Just
no.
I'm not advocating for clown murder. People are going to play that. Who doesn't want a movie where clowns are shot? What clowns are shot? At my announcement event,
And everyone starts throwing tomatoes at you, and you're like, what? Yeah, no, that's a very dark moment. But honestly, kind of reflective of the moment where Joker shoots Bob.
Oh, that's a good point.
Shooting his own person.
Well, I love and that poor guy. He's just like, hey, Penguin, maybe we shouldn't, kill
hurt kids. Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying I cut you off.
No, I was just going to agree with you that I probably before watching it this week would have told you that I like this movie more. And I still do, but I guess maybe my thoughts on it have changed a little bit. Where I think, like you, I'm seeing more of its flaws. Yeah. So, I would tell people, yeah, watch it, however, sort of a thing. Mm-hmm. But that said, it's such a confident mood, a vision, and sometimes this is the vision I'm going to want to visit and spend 2 hours in. You know what I mean?
That's so well said.
I do have positive feelings for it, but I can see its seams a little bit more than I think I have before.
Yeah.
Apparently that's a Phantom of the Opera reference, that the skull guy on the stairs.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Then a masquerade party with the two people who typically wear masks, not wearing masks.
I love it.
Yep.
I really like the song, by the way. This is by Susie and the Banshees.
Yeah.
It fits this scene here.
Yes.
This is one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. Just
so good.
And the realization.
Yep. This is, I had this memory. I remember my mom laughing at that moment when she was like, "Are we supposed to start fighting now?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." Watching it with my mom and her laughing at that.
Michelle Pfeiffer looks amazing in this scene, by the way. Oh my gosh.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what an awesome setting too for them to realize this in a crowd of people. Mm-hmm. What does this all mean? It's so much to process, and they're having to do it in real time in this situation. It's a great scene.
What's so interesting is that in The Dark Knight Rises, we have Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle at a costume party dancing. And,
Yeah,
it's like, and you could play those two scenes next to each other. It's like a filmmaker exercise,
that's so funny. Even the way she's sort of like leaning into his ear,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to me, I mean, that's the essential element of these characters is that they don't remain the same. They reinvent and they allow for all these different interpretations.
Mm-hmm.
And what you consider valid is just what you happen to plug into.
Yep.
I love
I
his
remember this
reaction here
song as
too
a
when he.
cassette single.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, right.
yeah. Anyway, sorry.
His
What were you saying?
reaction when he sees the gun right here.
Yeah, yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
Again, just I love flustered Bruce Wayne
Yeah, right.
because it's not something we tend to get.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. I hadn't really thought about it, but yeah, we got a lot more Bruce Wayne work in this movie than we did in the previous one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like on balance, I don't feel like this movie leaves the character underserved.
Mm-hmm.
And that's weird because there are so many other characters who are requiring attention. I wonder. I mean, the whole story sort of revolves around Shrek to some extent, so I don't know how you rework it, but I do wonder, like, why not just give his business to like one of the other characters? Like, why do we need this other figure in this story who demands so much attention?
Right, right.
Max Shrek. I mean, and I like Christopher Walken in this. I think he's an interesting character, but like, we got limited screen time and it's plenty busy already.
Yeah, I do. I wonder.
Because making Penguin this sort of horror show of a thing, I mean, that was a choice, and it was entirely based on Burton's whims because that's not rooted in anything in the comics.
Right.
But you could have just as easily made Oswald Cobblepot the Max Shrek character.
Right. I was gonna praise that wide shot there with the explosion. When it's coming, they hold on it for so long, where the floor is about to blow up, and it almost makes you appreciate the stunt work more because you're looking at those people and you're going, wait, that I know that part of the screen is going to blow up, and then you watch them literally fly. It's so impressive.
Amazing. Now, the animated series, Batman the Animated Series, premiered a few months after this film came out.
Yeah, right.
It was that fall.
Mm-hmm.
And so Catwoman and Penguin, even though that show was not beholden to the movies per se, it did use Danny Elfman's music.
Yeah.
But Penguin and Catwoman both were redesigned to reflect their designs here.
Mm.
So Selena Kyle, who's traditionally been a brunette, was made blonde in the cartoon.
Right.
She's voiced by Adrienne Barbeau in the show, and Penguin, he looks more like his comic book version, but they gave him the flippers and the long hair like in this movie.
Right. Wait, by the way, the mayor, did you see with the knife in his back? Part of his costume.
I didn't actually. I missed that.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know if we'll get to see him again, but what a crazy day on set, right? This thing blows up and now there's like all these penguins just kind of scattered around.
That's right. I remember, speaking of the Kenner Batman Returns toys, like they had a 2-pack of Penguin Commandos that was on the clearance aisle for several years after this movie came out.
Really? That's funny.
Because I'd imagine there's not much of a market for those once like the Batman toys are gone.
Right. You're like, I can use my imagination for those.
Yeah. It was like a 2-pack with little stuff that you strap onto them or whatever.
You know what always bothered me with those toys though too? When you couldn't find the one you wanted, which was like the film version of Batman.
Yeah.
But they'd be like, here's Batman, but he's like all purple because he's like infrared Batman. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like,
Yeah, it's so funny because one of my holy grails as a collector recently was I wanted to get the full line of Dark Knight collection figures that Kenner put out. It was like 1990. It was a year after the 89 movie. They got the license, and it was the first wave was like 10 figures. I was like, I want to try to get all of those. And there's like there's like the movie accurate one. It's like Crime Attack Batman, something like that.
Mhm.
And then there's all this other. There's like Tech Shield and Bleep a Bloop and whatever, all this stuff.
right.
And you realize like there's this one, and he had like gold. It was like a gold finish, and that was like the first Batman variant that they ever did.
Oh.
And I think they just realized, well, shit, we can just do this forever.
Right. Just keep painting them different colors.
Yeah. And so that's what they're like Arctic Batman and Water Batman and that. And yeah, like you're saying, like if you've got the one, if you've got the movie one, all of those are just gravy. But if you don't have the movie one, those are like taunting you, all those other ones.
Yes, exactly. So I'd read, everything I looked up had this trivia fact where I guess the monkey was scared of DeVito in this makeup and like attacked him.
Can you blame him?
Yeah. Right? I know.
Now this note, you can imagine Adam West having written that. Now.
Yeah, it's so true, right? The children regret
and this shot right here, come on. This is funny.
Right. That's so funny. Batman. This whole like Patton speech here.
That's great. The penguins are just sitting there. That's what's hilarious.
Yeah.
They're all just, oh, okay.
Right. I also love it I don't think it's happened yet, but the woman who's just like doing the countdown from her station.
Yes. She seems so bored.
I know. I love it though, but it's just so cartoonish.
It's, Tim Burton's an interesting dude, right? Like he's got such a specific vision for his films that it's very difficult to not identify a Tim Burton movie,
yes. Yes.
And yet, it feels like he's maybe not as much of a draw anymore as he used to be. I don't know if that's just my perception, but there was a minute there where, like you put his name on the marquee and people are going to show up.
Yeah.
Right. And I wonder if it's just you can only do so much of that.
Yeah. The only other equivalent I can think of at the moment is Wes Anderson.
Oh, sure.
Where it's so unique to him and he immediately identifiable. And I feel like, he doesn't make $100 million grossing movies, but he does still have his audience, I suppose, but he hasn't started making like the Wes Anderson Winnie the Pooh movie, like,
right.
I don't know.
There's a shot coming up here, which it was something that Kevin Smith pointed out. And ever since it always kind of gives me a chuckle. There's a scene where he kind of bypasses these penguins in the tunnel.
Okay.
And there's just kind of this look on Batman's face like, the hell was that?
Oh, really?
It's very funny. Like it's a subtle thing.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's. I'll say I'll try to point.
Yeah,
it out
yeah.
It's coming up. Yeah, this right here. The lady's just like, she's kind of over it. Feels like.
Approaching launch destination. But I love it. Such a quirky detail.
But yeah, I think right here coming up, like, where the penguins are coming.
Yeah,
it kind of flips around, and then his reaction right after here, he has this look on his face like, right here, the shot right here, like, huh? Did you see? He's like, the hell is that?
That's really funny. Dude, what a nightmare wrangling these penguins. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
And well, I guess, and some of them are like robots. They're animatronics.
Right.
No, but the whole plot of, oh, I'm gonna kill all of Gotham's firstborn kids, like it's an idea that they don't do anything with.
Yeah.
right?
That's a good point.
Because he gets the one note. Oh no, sorry. The children don't want to come or whatever. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, that's it.
yeah.
But even like, oh, I'm taking Chip instead of Shrek, and Shrek's like, no, take me, and he's like, okay. I'm like, well,
Right. That's so funny.
right? Like,
Yeah.
it feels like these ideas that aren't fully.
Yeah.
It's like set pieces, but they didn't tie it all
They didn't
together.
really want to spend the time on them, but they needed them for
Yes,
Batman to go after Penguin
right.
and to get Max, I guess, in his lair. That's so funny.
Like the whole third act is Penguin reacting to his rejection by the city. But as we said earlier, I think the problem is that the rejection just happens on a dime.
Mm-hmm.
The city turns on Batman for like a second,
Right.
and I think he's fine now.
Wait, how do they? I don't even remember. How do they? Are they cool with Batman again, or are they after the whole his being sort of
it's
set up?
it's left vague, right? Like they don't
Yeah.
really.
It's funny because I mean, even obviously it's iconic. The Dark Knight, like, oh, it's okay, I can take it. That's my job.
Right.
But it's like never even touched upon in this.
It's so interesting because we have these two extremes. I've said before with the Dark Knight trilogy, that's the result when you take the realism as far as it can go with Batman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In a sense, it reveals the limits because when you make realism your watchword, then we start poking holes in the internal logic.
Right.
Whereas to some extent with this, it's like, it's all make believe,
Right. Right. No, I guess it's worth mentioning with these penguins is so with the real ones that they had, obviously a lot of care had to go into keeping them safe. So they flew them over on because the ones that they wanted to use, the king penguins, they were in England. So they flew them over to the US on a refrigerated plane. They're
Jeez.
given their own refrigerated trailer and swimming pool with a fresh ton of ice every day, and had fresh fish delivered straight from docks for them. So it's just so funny now. Oh, and they had a around the clock bodyguard as well. So it's just funny because now, I mean, obviously they'd be CGI,
Right.
but you think like, man, what a circus that must have been.
Yeah, not a fun day for the animal wranglers, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's easy to write it, but then to actually pull it off and have someone wrangling all of that.
Yeah, the budget for this movie was around $80 million.
Dude, that's so wild. I know
Right? For
inflation and this and that and the
1992.
other, but wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a bargain by 2022 standards,
Yeah.
but 1992, it wasn't cheap, and it was 50 million more than the first one.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Now, I think you can see the money on screen. I mean, this has, even as it feels more insular, the scope is also larger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an interesting balancing act because this third act here, I mean, it's not particularly massive, it's relatively contained.
Yeah.
You can understand the scope of it, but it's bigger scale than Batman, the first one,
Definitely. Yeah. Well, and Terminator 2, right? I mean, around this time was the highest budgeted film of all time at 100 million.
100 million.
So you can imagine something
movie,
at around
right?
80 is still like, whoa.
Yeah. So you can see why Warner Brothers got a little fidgety with the returns on this one.
Right, because it wasn't as big as the first one.
Yeah, it was still the number one movie of that year.
Right.
But it wasn't as big a hit as Batman. Now I think with 30 years of hindsight, I feel certainly I'm like, well, you should have let Burton come back.
Mm.
Right? But it's weird. I was thinking about it. I was like, we're kind of nowadays conditioned to think of these things as having a finite life.
Yeah.
Right? So, let Burton come back and finish his thing. But there was no finish back then.
It's funny you say that because that was what I was feeling when you said that. But then I realized that was
because back then they were going to James Bond this thing.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the weird thing. Like I think the decision to separate from Burton makes sense given the economics of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But with hindsight, it's like, well, you should just let him come back and kind of put a bow on the thing before you move on.
Well, it's funny too, because I mean, I was only 12. Like, I just thought it was cool, right? But it would be
Yeah.
interesting to go back and have a better perspective of what Warner Brothers was really hearing, from
Yeah.
audiences, parents, people making the toys, Happy Meals.
Yeah. Well, and this is a movie that definitely it's grown in esteem in the 30 years since.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of it is because people like us who grew up with it, who always had an affinity for it.
Yeah.
But I think there's also a sense of we can compare it with other Batman movies, other superhero movies, and you say, well, this does stand out in a good
Definitely.
way.
Definitely.
Right? So I think there is that.
Because I could think even someone who isn't a fan of Batman but enjoys sort of twisted movies, or Tim Burton, someone who's younger than us who's sort of discovering Tim Burton, and they could go back and enjoy this just because it's so him.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
That was fun. We're past it now, but the Penguins missiles. Oh well, here's a little more of it. But this is fun. I mean, it's all miniatures and stuff, I'm sure, but it still looks big and impressive. It's cool.
Yeah. I mean, this movie was nominated for 2 Oscars.
Wow.
Right, for visual effects and makeup. So Stan Winston did the penguin design,
mm-hmm.
and rightly garnered a Oscar nomination out of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Although I don't know who won that year.
Was that V. Neal, right? She was associated with this too.
Right.
Yeah.
I've said previously, I think Michael Keaton has the best Batman voice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I always think of this scene.
Yeah.
Right? Like he found a way to his Batman does sound different than his Bruce, but he's not doing
like a character,
well, he's not
or
doing
something.
the Christian Bale thing, right? But
yeah,
like it still sounds natural,
Yeah, totally.
I feel like Pattinson is a good second as far as that goes, where he's found a way to like make his Batman sound like a normal guy.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Oh, of course, that shot we just saw here with the where the eyeshadow disappears, that drives me crazy.
Right. They should have just put it in shadow or something and just hit it.
Something, right?
Yeah. That's probably the first time I became aware of it. Like, just never thought about it, but like, wait, what?
It's so funny.
I like this whole confrontation too, by the way. This is really, like his feelings for Selena and trying to talk some reason into her, but her finally getting to confront the person who tried to kill her. And like, this is just a really great, this trio here.
I just love it right here. She's like, he is Batman, you moron.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, God, you're an idiot.
Yeah. It's so funny. And she looks great too. Her hair, like all.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's a cosplay all by itself.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She looks right here.
Wits End Catwoman.
Yeah, right. It's a very, very specific cosplay.
Yes. But this is all great. I mean, if you're going to lean into the whole cat thing, like, take all my lives.
Yeah. Now, I mean, this coming up, this death of Max Schreck is pretty horrific.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was definitely one of those things as a kid where it was sort of like, when there's things that are sort of horrifying and then you get to pause them once they're on VHS and you're like, whoa. This was one of those moments. Because it doesn't linger. What's that?
No, I was just saying that in terms of the performances, and we're talking about the awards, Danny DeVito was nominated at the Razzies this year.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, well, that's some bullshit, because by no means is that a Razzie level performance. I think he's doing a lot of interesting stuff,
and he fits right in. I think if he was doing that in a movie where it didn't gel, that's another thing.
Well, let us acknowledge that the Razzies are and always have been bullshit.
Yeah, they're kind of dickish.
Right, it's just people being mean,
right,
and screw the raspberries. So I don't care who I piss off, Ryan.
Right,
the raspberries can kiss my ass.
Dude, you don't want to upset Big Raspberry.
Big Raspberry. Now
Here's the
this
reason
scene,
Burton did not come back.
yeah, right. This right here, exactly.
Right.
He was very politely shown the door. But is this his blood? Like, I'm not
Dude, I
understanding.
have no idea.
Right? Because if it is his blood, then I'm like, what in God's name is he?
Well, you know what? That's
And
the thing. Yeah. Sorry. Good.
no, I'm just like, what were his parents? I have so many questions.
I mean, see, that's the thing, right? Like
Oh,
well,
here we
here we
go.
go.
Pause. Ah!
Yeah. Because it's like with the mob boss in the first one, we get to like linger on it and we're like, ugh, you almost like want to look away
Yeah.
a little bit, but this one it's so fast. No, but I was
I
gonna say
fully believe, sorry, they had
Yeah.
like one extra shot of Crispy Critter Max Shrek,
yeah.
and the studio was like, maybe cut the second one. You know, like you
Right.
can picture those conversations.
That dude, I'd be willing to bet. Absolutely.
Right?
That's so funny. What a great observation. You're totally right. That feels so spot on. No, I was saying
Sorry,
with
go on.
his weird black bile goo coming out of him. I mean, it sort of makes sense if he truly has these avian features and needs to be
Yeah.
cold all the time. Like maybe there's something weird with his biology. But then on the other hand, like you said, it makes you go, well, what in the world? You know, he came from apparently 2 human parents.
Yeah, right. And this right here feels like such a Tim Burton thing where, right, is this weird, funny, sad, you don't know how you feel, right?
Right? Yeah.
Like,
Bruce is just watching it like, what the hell?
yeah, what in the world? But like even the penguin, this grotesque creature, gets this kind of
Yes.
sad funeral scene. Like,
Yes. Like the penguins at least respected him.
yeah.
I thought I had read that this was an allusion to something or an homage to some other film, but I don't have it off the top of my head.
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah.
But it's a weird bit of respect for this really awful character.
Yeah,
Even from
and
the
that's what I
movie.
mean. It feels like only Tim Burton would do that.
Yeah.
would give like a Viking funeral to the penguin.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah. Man, I'm realizing I love that whole aesthetic of like a quiet evening with like snow on the ground. There's nothing like the sound and the feel of that.
And it certainly makes for great filming. You know?
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's beautiful. Now this the piece at the very end where Catwoman's head pops into frame, that was a last minute addition.
Right. Right.
And it's interesting because you know, I feel like it's clear enough that she probably survived. Like, I don't know why they felt the need specifically to add that.
It's like a fun. I get it. Like as a little.
I like it. I mean,
like a little.
The idea, like, oh, we should add that. You know.
Yeah, it's like a fun thing to go out on, I think. But yeah, I mean, imagine back in the day, right? Like, first of all, having to put this whole thing together, which I read cost $250,000, but and then
just for the final, just that
last shot, and then having to slap it on a physical film prints, right? It's not like you could just update, export out of Avid and then put it on a drive and beam it to theaters. Like, they had to change all the prints for around the world. And what a commitment to this idea,
Now, movie 1 and movie 2 both end with Alfred driving the car, but one thing that's always bugged me about 89 is, they shot it in the UK, and the final shot with Alfred, he's on the right side. The steering wheel's on the right side because it's in the UK.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
That's always when you watch that movie, when Vicky's getting into the car, Alfred's on the right side.
Yeah. Huh. How funny.
But this movie, it was in LA. So,
right.
If nothing else, they got Alfred on the right side of the road.
Right.
On the left side of the car, but right side of
right side. Yeah.
It should be. The correct side, I should say.
Putting your stamp. Put your foot down on that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, UK. Suck it. Now I remember this shot being in all the toy commercials.
Yeah. There's something odd about it, isn't it? I thought I had read it was a puppet once. I thought I'd read it was a double once. I don't know what it
They
is.
tried to do it with like a puppet, and it just wasn't working. So it's
Oh,
just a stand-in.
okay. There's
Yeah.
something a slightly off kilter about it, right? Or is that
Yeah, well,
just me?
it sure looks like it's in front of a rear projection,
Yeah, but even just
right?
I don't know, something sort of mechanical about her movement,
Hmm.
or but anyway. But I like I said, I like it. I think it's cool.
See, I'm curious what audiences who were primed and excited and watching this opening night, what did they think of this movie? Were they like, "What the hell did we just watch?"
Right,
You know, because I mean, this was a polarizing film.
right.
You know, so what was the majority reaction?
Man, I wish I was just when I was 12. Sometimes I'll even marvel when I'll hear people be like, "Oh yeah, 12, I knew this was crap." And I'm like, "Really?" Like I just a lot of
Yeah,
times I would just sort of take what was put in front of me and go, "Well, that was great. That was the new Batman movie." You know, I think
that was
I
me too. Yeah,
right, and I remember
yeah.
the fourth one. I've said the story before, but I took my girlfriend at the time. And I remember feeling like, "Oh, this isn't like the others." Like I was building it up for her, being like, "Oh, the others are great. You're gonna love this." And I remember thinking, like, "This isn't what I wanted." You know, like this feels. That's when the opinions started forming.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's interesting because my memories of this movie, as I said, it's just as much tied up with the entire marketing campaign and
mm,
the key art from the merchandising. You know what I mean?
yep. Oh yeah.
That showed up in all the posters and things like that. And I started because we moved back that summer,
Hmm.
and I started attending Jerling Junior High in Orland Park that
Mm,
fall, and I got the Batman Returns Trapper Keeper and notebooks and all that. Like those are my memories of this movie.
yeah. Yeah.
And so it's all that stuff, you know. And I have a lot of positivity associated with just buying the stuff and seeing Batman everywhere, and that made me excited, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it was different than the stuff from 3 years ago.
Yes. Yeah, that was exciting at the time. Like that was a
Yeah,
selling point for me. Was like new and different.
that's right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's weird,
Yeah.
yeah, because by the time we got around to '97 with Batman and Robin, and you and I are the same age, so there was a little bit of like, here again with this shit. Like it's funny how
Yeah, I know.
quickly you become just a cynical asshole,
It's
you
so
know.
true, right?
You don't get to be wide eyed very long, you know,
Yeah,
before
it's
before
sad.
the world beats you down.
Right.
Like as soon as I saw George Clooney being like, "Hey, freeze, I'm Batman," I was like, "F this." I stormed out of wherever I was, turned off Entertainment Tonight or whatever I was watching.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good. I forgot about that. Hey, Freeze, I'm Batman.
Like, oh no.
Yeah.
uh, but no, man. You know what? Honestly, I 30 years later, here we are talking about this, and I think that by itself is kind of remarkable. You know, this is it doesn't have to be the be all end all. It's just another Batman, and we can judge it based on what it does that's similar, what it does that's different, as
Mhm.
part of this amazing tapestry, this continuum stretching forwards and backwards of all these different interpretations of this character.
I mean, it took 30 years for me to understand that, but I think that is absolutely it. And I 100% agree. And that's what I have grown to really love about this series.
Well, Brian, think of what you'll know 30 years from now.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Other thoughts? Anything you forgot to mention?
No, I mean, if there's just sort of a top line thought on this, I think sounds like we had sort of the same experience revisiting this, where it's
That is really funny. Yeah.
right, like a little more vignette than I remembered. It was sticking out to me that it felt like kind of like a lot of ideas strung together, held together by a vibe, you know, um,
That's my album that's coming up next fall. Actually,
held together by
held
a
together
vibe.
by a vibe. Yeah.
But I like the vibe, and I will keep coming back to it. Maybe not as much as the others, but when I've got the itch for this particular flavor, I mean it delivers on the flavor. So I love that we both landed on the 66 thing. That cracks me up.
It's really like it was like a light bulb going off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I want to mention again, the score is fantastic.
Yes.
I have the complete score, which they came out with a couple of years ago. I listen to it all the time. I think if you're if you're an Elfman fan, he's got certain affectations that he reuses a lot. Like you can tell a Danny Elfman score,
Mhm.
but I think this one stands out from many of his other scores with just this extra level of vim and enthusiasm that he brought to it.
100%. Yep. I
Yeah.
used to listen to this when I was reading comics.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
To score
Yeah,
what I was
absolutely.
reading. Yeah.
And yeah, if this is indeed Tim Burton's final statement on this character, which we can assume that will be the case, I think he can at least take comfort in the fact that he left it all on the playing field.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No
You're
no
totally
doubt
right.
about that. But that said, that wraps up our commentary track for Batman Returns. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And I know we've gotten requests for this one for a while. Several messages from people being like, hey, this is 30th anniversary. Are you going to be doing it? And so I hope this measured up to those expectations.
Yeah. And I look forward to people commenting on their feelings on it too.
Yeah, let us know about your relationship with this movie. Absolutely. I always enjoy hearing that too, because the older it is, people plugged in at different points of their lives, and that all comes into your own personal narrative of the movie.
Yeah.
But we will be back soon with our next regular show, as well as our next commentary track. So please, if you have any questions or comments for us, you can email us at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com. You can also hit like on our Facebook page, facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast. As always, we take requests for commentary tracks. We don't always follow through on those requests, but we will hear you and at the very least nod politely. So there is that. Please go to Apple Podcasts and leave a review, leave a star rating, let people know what you think of what we're doing. And with that, on behalf of my partner, Brian Hall, my name is Zaki Hassan. This has been our movie film track for Batman Returns. We'll catch you next time. Thanks, everybody.